Hello, my friends. I am Dr. Bree, and welcome to Fem Fusion Fitness, your home for core and pelvic floor friendly fitness and Yin Yoga. One of the biggest requests I get from you guys is routines that focus on posture. So this one is going to be wonderful for those of you, especially who maybe work at desk jobs or who carry babies all day, or maybe you're a nursing mom. You're going to love this routine. It's going to feel great. So all you're going to need for this is blocks are going to be great to have handy, and you might not need anything else, but it's always good to have props just in case. The first couple moves you can do seated in a chair if you are not comfortable on the ground. So are you ready? Let's get to this. Before we get into the Yin Yoga poses, we're going to begin with a centering, grounding breath practice that's going to really calm the nervous system and bring you into the moment. It's called humming bee breath, and it's a little bit weird, but do it with me anyway. So what you're going to do is use your index fingers here, and you're going to push on that little piece of cartilage between your cheekbone and the ear canal. So you're going to push on that little piece of cartilage on both sides. And I want you to not let your elbows be floppy. I want you to actually bring your elbows out to the sides. Draw those shoulder blades together on your back and really be strong through the upper body here. So again, we're going to push inward on those little pieces of cartilage. And what you're going to do is breathe in and then exhale through your nose as you go In your head, it's going to sound kind of like a bee, like a bumblebee. So what we're going to do is on your own count, breathe in and then exhale through your nose with that as your ears are closed, pinched closed with your index fingers. Ready? We're going to do 3 rounds. Okay, elbows out to the side, sitting up nice and tall. One more round. All right, release your fingers from your ears and place your hands on the top of your head. We're going to begin with some bust slides. So this isn't really Yin Yoga here, but it's Fem Fusion style, and I can't help myself. It's so good to loosen up the upper body, these muscles between your ribs, the intercostal muscles, and just the muscles of your upper back, your mid back, your waist. So good to slide side to side. So we're not going tipping diagonally. We're actually sliding the rib cage to the right and the left. A lot of people aren't used to moving this way. It might feel really weird, but it's a great way to just kind of wake up the body, get these muscles just kind of alive and turned on, and it feels really good and opening for the chest and heart and strengthening for the shoulders and upper back. It's like you're reaching to the left and then reaching to the right with your rib cage. Last time here. Now, hands on your knees, and let's do some big circles. Again, this isn't really Yin Yoga style, but I just really like to move and groove. Especially if you've been sitting all day, if you're doing this toward the end of the day, this is going to feel really nice. Inhale on the way forward, and then exhale as you pull back. I'll show you from the side what we're doing. You're inhaling and then exhaling. Inhale and exhale. You can think about opposite shoulder to opposite knee now. Really get into it. And then go the other way. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. It's kind of like a cat-cow pose, where you arch and then where you round. One more. Sit up nice and tall. And I'm just going to have you look your head down, stretch out the back of your neck. Really feel those neck muscles stretching, your neck joints decompressing. And then look your head very slowly and carefully up. Feel the front of your neck opening. Deep breath. Get your mind settled into the yin-ness of this practice, the quiet. Now come back to the middle, slowly, slowly. And let's bring our left ear to the left shoulder. So just left ear to left shoulder. We're not gonna hold it. I just want you to just feel that nice stretch along the right side of your neck and shoulder. We're not gonna hold it for long. Just hold it here for a minute more. Well, a breath more, I should say. Not a minute. And then use your left hand and push your head back up to the middle position. And now drop your right ear to right shoulder. Just for a couple of breaths. Feel that stretch on the left side of the neck and shoulder. Maybe do little tiny micro movements where you look the tiniest bit up and the tiniest bit down and just feel how that changes the stretch. And now use your right hand and push your head back up to the middle. And let's begin with melting heart. So this is otherwise known as puppy pose, and you might need a block for under your forehead if it's too much to do the full pose. Do a couple rounds of cat and cow. Inhale. And then exhale, lift belly button to spine, tuck your tailbone under. Last time here, inhale. And exhale, lift belly button to spine, tuck tailbone under. Now, come back to neutral. Keep your hips right over your knees. And we're just gonna walk our hands forward. Now again, if you need a little bit of extra support, place a block under your forehead. If you're okay, just come right on down into the full pose, melting heart. Once you're settled into the pose, be still. The idea in Yin Yoga is to find your edge. Find the edge where you're really feeling a nice stretch. And then to hold it and be still. Breathe slowly and steadily. And feel how this opens up through the side body, opens up through the shoulders, opens up through the chest. Deep breaths. In Yin Yoga, we hold each pose for between a minute and a half, all the way up to 3 minutes, or even longer sometimes. So just settle in. Find that edge, that point where on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is nothing and 10 is pain, you want to be at about a 4, maybe a 5, but no more than that. If you need padding or support anywhere, please grab that now so that you're not uncomfortable, because if you are uncomfortable and tense and holding the pose with your muscles, you're not doing Yin Yoga to the point where it's going to be beneficial. You have to be able to sink into the pose in order to get the full benefit. So place a block under your head if you need to, or some blankets or a bolster under your chest. 1 more minute. take a deep breath and very carefully bring your arms back, your hands back toward your face, and very slowly come out of the pose. Sit back on your heels and then round it up like a cat spine. Round up all the way. Roll out your shoulders. Take it slow. We don't want to get dizzy. And we'll move into our next pose. All right, come onto your hands and knees again. We're going to thread the needle. So let's begin with our right arm. So right arm lifts up to the ceiling on an inhale. Lift that arm. Really reach it up toward the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. And then on an exhale, you're going to dive underneath your left arm and thread the needle. Your head can be resting so that your ear is on the floor, or if you need to raise your head and put it on a block or a very firm cushion or pillow, you can do that. That's going to make it a little easier. Make sure it's supported either on a block or on the floor. Now, you want your hips over your knees just like before. So you're going to be getting some hip stretches in this class too. But I want you to really sink into this pose. Maybe turn your palm up so you're not gripping the floor. Turning the palm up always helps. And then this left arm can either go in front of you, just resting on the ground, or if you want more, you can reach that left arm up and actually place it so that your hand is behind your back. Maybe your fingers even grasp around your right thigh so that they're reaching toward that right inner thigh. Find your edge where you're feeling that stretch, and then get comfortable and sink into the pose. Pad yourself up as ever you need to really feel that you can just ease into the position. Move things around, make micro adjustments, and then hold. If you reached your arm behind you and you decided, yeah, that's not for me, then go ahead and go back to a different position that's more comfortable. Breathe deeply. We have about 1 more minute on this side. One more deep breath in and out. And now your left fingers tent them and spider walk them back. Come on up very carefully and slowly ease out of it. Sometimes we can be a little bit, maybe uncomfortable, a little bit awkward after being in that position for so long. So just move your body in a way that feels good. I like to kind of sit back onto my heels and then come back up. One more time. And we're gonna go right into the other side. Inhale that left arm up. Hold it, reach it, reach it, reach it, reach it. Open the heart. And then exhale, dive under your right arm, threading the needle. And find your nice juicy position where your left arm is right in front of you. It's right out to the side. And your right arm can be in front of you on the ground or behind, if that's what you did on the other side. Remember that you can place your left ear on a small cushion or a block if you need more support. Make micro adjustments as you need to, and then hold it. We're going to breathe steadily. If, like me, you realize that that arm should probably be on the floor instead of behind your back, go ahead and make the change. Do what feels right for your body. One more minute. One more deep breath. And now tent your right fingertips and walk them back and come up, push up, come up slowly onto your knees. Sit back, roll forward, sit back, and roll forward. Now, I'm going to turn and face you just so you can see what I'm doing, but you can stay right where you are. So I'm on my hands and knees. I want you to bring your right leg in front of the left. Now, squeeze out all the air between your knees and your thighs. Get it all out. So you don't want a lot of space here. You want to really get all the air out between your knees. You might need a block behind you or a cushion or something that you can sit on. What we're trying to do is aim our hips all the way down toward the floor. Okay, this is called shoelace, and this is a very, very deep pose. Now, if your hips are not flexible and open already, this is going to be too much. I have some alternatives. Like I said, instead of lowering to the floor, you could lower to a block. So you can put the block behind you and just sit on the block. That's a really great alternative. The other one that you can try, if you can get down, but if your knees are kind of open like this, you can take up that space by putting a block in between your legs, your knees, and that is going to help you feel that you can kind of ease into the pose a little more. Ultimately, you want both of your sitting bones, your butt bones, on the ground. So you don't want one side lifted up like this. So choose what you need to do, whether it's sitting on a block or putting the block between your legs. But either way, you should have your right knee on top of your left. We want to work our feet so that they're pretty much pointing out to the sides. And ease into this pose. This is a really big hip stretch, but it's a great idea to get some hip work in as we do this upper body work as well. Now, right leg is on top, left leg underneath. So what I want you to do now is put your right arm on the bottom and your left arm on top. So right arm on the bottom, left arm on top, and let's see if you can put the backs of your hands together or eagle wrap your arms all the way around. So here's the look again. Right arm on the bottom, left arm on top. Just put the backs of your hands together or wrap them all the way around for eagle arms. This really stretches out the back side of your body, the whole back side of your shoulders. It feels so good. Take some deep breaths. And if anything is painful in your legs, then make the adjustments that you need to do. If your knees are hurting at all, put a block between your knees or sit on a block. Yin Yoga is not about pain. It's about finding your edge and then sinking into it. So let's see if maybe we can bring our arms up a tiny bit more. And take some deep breaths into your back body, into the backs of your lungs, the lowest, deepest, most posterior part of your lungs. Fill them up. Try to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed down, away from your ears. They're not hunched up. You want to lengthen your neck, shoulders down away from your ears, elbows are lifting up. About 10 more seconds. And very slowly release your arms. Carefully unwrap, unwind. Whew. Roll the shoulders. And now let's do the same pose on the other side. But first, let's release those hips by placing your feet wide to either side of your yoga mat, or if you're like me, just nice and wide feet, and drop your knees down, one knee at a time, down toward the floor. Breathing deeply. Really press the knee down toward the yoga mat. One more time on each side. So before our right leg was on top, now our left leg is going to be on top. So come again onto your hands and knees. And you're going to bring that left leg in front of your right. So left leg in front of the right. Squeeze out all the air from between your legs. So you're not all cattywampus like this. You're squeezed. The air is squeezed out. Now if you sat on a block before, get that block in place so that you can sit on it. And if not, just lower yourself down very slowly. If there's any pain in your knees, then you know what to do. Sit on a block, prop yourself up, or remember you can place a block between your knees to just fill the gap. Make it comfortable. And find that position where your sitting bones are grounded on the floor. So you're not like this, you're grounded on the floor with your butt bones. In this position, try to make it so that your left knee is pretty much stacked over your right knee as much as possible. It's not a perfect science. Just take your time. If you're not like this yet, don't worry. I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing yoga since I was 16 and I'm 38 now. So it takes time. All right, take a deep breath. Now, we have our left leg on top. So let's bring our arms out to the side. We're now gonna have our left arm on the bottom. So left arm on the bottom, right arm on top, either backs of the hands together or wrap all the way around. Slow, easy, deep breaths. Calming mind and body. If your hands are close to your forehead, try to work them a little bit forward. You don't want them like this, but you don't want your hands touching your forehead. So you want your arms, basically your forearms, perpendicular to the floor. Work the elbows up just a little bit and keep your shoulders down away from your ears. If you find yourself rounding forward, don't let that happen. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall. If you find yourself breathing high into your chest, try to deepen your breath a little bit so you're a little more into your lower lungs, your back lungs, and a little bit more into your belly, your pelvic floor. 10 more seconds. Now very carefully release your arms, unwrap, unwind, roll your shoulders back. Look up, look down. Unwind your legs. Nice wide feet. Windshield wiper your knees one at a time down. One more time each side, breathing. And let's come onto the belly for Sphinx pose. Okay, so for Sphinx pose, you're gonna want to have your elbows right under your shoulders. Forearms are parallel, and your shoulders are down away from your ears. Your neck is long, and you're just looking forward. So let's not look up. We don't want to crank the back of the neck. If you are really comfortable with the back of your neck and you want to try looking down and letting your head hang, you can try that, but let's all start by looking forward. Take a deep breath. Now, if this is too much, if you feel any pinching in your low back, then you can have your arms be forward a little bit. I don't want any pinching in your low back. You can think about lengthening your spine so that your tailbone is lengthening toward your feet, your heels. And I also find it helpful to kind of walk out one leg and then walk out the other leg. So it's like you're lengthening your legs out of the sockets. So again, forearms can be like this, or for the full expression of the pose, you can put your elbows directly under your shoulder. Just make sure that your forearms are parallel to one another and they're not in like this, because that can maybe be bad on your shoulder joints. So nice, relaxed, slow, easy breathing. Remember to keep that spine feeling like it's long and not crunched. Look at the difference between long and crunched. Big difference. So try to find that space where your spine is long, but you're not having to use your muscles to keep yourself rigid. You want to still be relaxing into the pose without crunching your spine. Now, if you want to try letting your head fall forward, you can. You can also rest your forehead on a block if that is more comfortable for you. But if you want to try letting your head fall forward, go ahead. Let gravity take it down. If this makes you feel dizzy or uncomfortable in any way, or if you've had neck injuries, then please do not do this. Now, for the last 45 seconds or so, you can either stay here or stay with your head just facing forward, or you can come up into seal pose. This is a deeper back bend. So if you're going to try seal with me, spread out your fingers and come up. You might have to walk your fingers forward just a little bit. You don't want to feel any pinching in your low back. There can be a slight soft bend in the elbows, but you want to feel a nice extension through your back. Try not to let your bottom muscles be too squeezed, but I find that for me, it actually is comfortable to have them lightly engaged. So they're not clenched, but they're lightly engaged through the buttocks. So see what feels good for your body. And again, light, tiny bend in the elbows. No crunching in your low back. If this is painful at all, then please go back to Sphinx. You will feel some work in your arms, but your back should be fairly relaxed. One more deep breath. And then very carefully come down, slowly. Head to one side, shift your hips, and then turn your head to the other side. Keep wiggling your hips. And now we're gonna come into a lying chest opener. So what I want you to do is bring your left arm out to the side. Right ear is gonna go to the floor. Then bend the elbow at 90 degrees. And we're gonna actually turn so that we're on our left hip with our knees bent. So turn onto your side, rolling onto your left side, opening this left side of the chest and shoulder area. Turn and make yourself comfortable. You might need a block for under your ear, a block right here, or a cushion, something nice and firm to place your head on. Otherwise, put your head directly on the floor. And again, knees can be bent up, 90 degrees, and your right arm can be wherever it's comfortable for you. Maybe it's straight out to the side, straight out. Maybe it's a little bit forward. Or if you're very advanced and really want more, you can place that hand behind your back. You can also stretch that top leg straight. Now, deep breaths. Remember to place a block or a pillow under your left ear if you need that. And if you realized you went too far, then go back to whatever feels comfortable for you. I find that if it's too much to have this left arm bent at 90 degrees, it's a little easier to straighten it out, so you can also do that. Choose what you need to do for your level. Shift around until you find that perfect spot where you're really feeling that chest opener stretch. So important for people who work at the computer all day, or who are holding babies or carrying things all day. Breathe deeply and relax. If anything is uncomfortable or you feel needs adjusting, then adjust it now. Maybe you need some padding under your breast tissue because maybe it's a little bit tender on the floor. Go ahead and grab a little blanket. Or place a pillow under your head if you didn't think you needed one, but now you do. Or maybe even just place your hand under your head. One more deep breath. And now very carefully ease out of this pose by straightening your legs, rolling onto your belly, coming into a Sphinx just for a second. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So now right arm is out to the side, 90-degree angle at the elbow. I'm gonna shift my weight onto the right side of my body, bending up my knees. And then just do whatever you did on the other side. So maybe your arm was out to the side. Maybe it was kind of in front of you. Maybe it was under your head like a pillow. Maybe you had to have a block or a cushion under your ear, and that's fine too. Just try to do what you did on the other side. If you had your top leg straightened on the other side, you can do that again. You can kind of place it straight and almost behind you. But for me, I had both legs bent and my head was on my hand. Feel that opening and expansion of your chest and shoulder muscles. Finding your edge and then holding it. One more deep breath. And straighten out your legs. Come onto your belly. We have one more beautiful heart opener, and it will require some blocks. So if you don't have blocks, then get creative. Maybe you can find some small little pillows that are nice and firm. But let's go ahead and sit back into child's pose just briefly. So tuck your toes under, bring your hands next to your chest, come up, press back into a nice child's pose. Shift your hips around. Maybe bring your arms behind you. One deep breath. And then go ahead and press yourself up to a seated position. So our last pose is supported fish. Crazy hair here. So supported fish, you're gonna place your blocks like so and like so. So it's like a T right here, and this one's gonna be for under your head. This is for between your shoulder blades and behind the back of your head. Now you might be more comfortable with the back of your head on a block a little bit higher. Just play with whatever feels good to you. You can also try it on a lower height. Just play around and you'll find what feels really nice for your body. So come on forward and take your time coming down. So you want to line up the block so that you feel like it's right at your middle back, kind of right below your bra strap. And then very carefully ease your way down. Move the top block so that your head is resting fully on it. And this is where the magic is. Shift the block around so it feels like it's really straight under your spine. It's not off kilter, because that is going to make you feel uncomfortable. So try to make it so that your spine is lying right on top of that block that's between your shoulder blades. Take your time adjusting things. Now your legs, They can be doing all sorts of different things. They can be so that your feet are apart and your knees are together, but I prefer legs to be out in front of me or feet together, knees apart. This one is actually my favorite. So it's kind of a reclined butterfly actually. But again, you can have your legs straight if that feels better to you. Just find the leg position you love. And then let's bring the arms out to the side. Like I said, this is where the magic happens. The opening of the heart. The chest muscles tend to be so tight in so many of us in modern society, this chest and shoulder muscles. So we open them up. Opening the lungs. Opening the heart. Feeling expansive and open and generous and loving and just open heart, open mind, open and receptive. Slow, deep breathing. Feel as if the blocks beneath you are giving your sore back muscles a little massage. Nice firm pressure that you can just relax into. Let yourself be fully supported. If there was any more tension or nervous energy in your body, feel it all unwinding right now. Unwind, relax. We have 1 more minute. If you want to stretch your arms out over your head to get just one last stretch, deep, deep stretch. And now reach your arms around, gather your legs up if they were in the butterfly position, use your arms to help. And then come carefully off of your blocks. I like to roll off onto my side. Press up. Move the blocks out of the way and come down through your side into Shavasana. This actually is one of the very important poses of our practice, so please do not skip it. You might feel like you were resting in the other poses, but this one is different. This is the one where we integrate all of the work because you are actually stretching a lot into your connective tissues, into your joints. So now it's time to integrate all of that into our final resting pose. Legs out, flopped open to the sides, arms flopped open to the sides, spine in one long line along the ground. Back of the neck is long, back of the head is heavy into the floor. Back of the shoulders are heavy into the floor. Adjust if you need to. Back of the sacrum and the pelvis is heavy into the floor. Your calves and your heels, your entire backside of your legs, heavy into the floor. Just 1 more minute. Deep breath. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, circle your ankles around. Drag up one leg and then the other. Hug your knees into your chest. Come onto your side. Press yourself up to seated. And roll your shoulders back. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at your heart. One more time, up. Hands at your heart. The light in me honors and recognizes the light within each one of you. Thank you so much for joining me. As always, remember, eat clean, move every day, and you will shine brighter. Namaste.